like
Hey, you're
I got
moving on up.
you gotta earn so many points to become a signature. I'm a far away from that. I have no points.
Yeah, you just got one. You got one right now.
Oh no, you're kidding.
Yeah, you get one for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah, you get a point.
oh, okay.
You just got to get a few more. That's all.
Okay. Oh, well, that's encouraging. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but then I'll be competing against the really big time people.
Ah, you just got to pay off the right people. That's all you got to do.
Sure. Well, I don't care about it. It's just fun, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Lynette, it's Anne Marie.
Anne Marie.
Hey, you. So, where can we see the painting that you got with the society's online show? I mean, I couldn't find it when I went online.
Oh, okay, I'll show it to you guys. I'll bring it. I'll be right back.
I'm so tickled for you.
Oh, thank you. You gotta join. I mean, everybody in this group is so good. You just, it's associate member status, and then you can, get in those that competition before
I'm learning through baby steps, but I'm really enthused, and I just love oil. It's so satisfying,
isn't it? I love it.
Yeah,
it's wonderful. Yeah.
When I was doing watercolors years and years ago, mostly botanicals, people would say, "Oh, I would never do oil. It's so messy and smelly and blah, blah, blah." And that's so not true at all. And I've gotten better about not getting paint all over myself, except for phthalo green. But it's really just the medium is so fabulous. Okay, so where's your picture?
Oh, I have to go get it. It's down.
Oh, sorry.
So you recovered?
Well, I'll tell you. After driving home, I took the wrong part of. I got on 294, and then I missed missed the 290 exit, so I wound up going all the way north to Tui, and it was a long haul, like an hour and a half. But when I got home, I was so exhausted and happy. And then Saturday night, Jim, I slept for 12 hours.
Wow.
And that was good. And I woke up feeling really refreshed and very happy for what we did in the forest. It was great.
Good. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
It really was. And I felt like I felt a lot more comfortable than the first time.
Yeah, it gets better and better. And you should be fine then. And when we get to France, I think a lot of things are going to probably be even a little easier for you.
Yeah.
And so they might even have chairs you can sit down. Who knows?
I should have brought my stool, but I forgot it. But anyway, it was also a good test for me to stand up that long.
Well, good. Yeah, you did well. You did really well. You got a couple nice paintings out of there. So at least good starts. We always have, what I did today, I just took and reworked them all. Or I didn't rework them. I just finished them off a little bit more, as much as I could with the paints I had. So, it's plein air. It's fun.
It was super fun, and it's forces you to look at things in a different way. Hey, question. Someone gave me a tube of Viridian. Now, I know Viridian from watercolor 25 years ago, but is Viridian close to phthalo green, or what's the deal?
Yes, you could try that. You could try if you want to try and go with Viridian instead of phthalo. If you don't like phthalo, go ahead. You can do that.
Well, I like phthalo, and I still have a tube of it, but but I just wonder if I can use Veridian since someone gave me,
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, you can't go wrong. You when people give you stuff, use it up. It's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
one of the best things to do.
Okay.
So yeah. So okay. We're waiting on. Are you back, Lynette?
I'm here and I can just I'll turn it
Okay.
so you can, hopefully you can see it here. It's under a light.
Oh,
She
wow.
has it framed up and everything.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
that's beautiful.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting a good there. Maybe that's
You
as
got
well.
it. You got it right there. That's nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
That-
Real nice.
That's oil, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
This
Where
is a
is
plein
that?
air. This is a plein air you did, right?
No, this is, I took a picture of this. It was in the winter, so I was going to do plain air.
But still, you were there. You took a picture of it. It's yours. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you about this one. This
Tonight's?
wait, yeah. Did you take this picture?
No, our friend Marcia took it, who can't be here tonight because she fell down.
Oh no.
Yes, this was from a hound chase where they chase the fox around a fox hunt.
Oh yeah.
This is the beginning of it, where they address the hounds and a few things. She took these pictures. She goes to these things they have there in Lexington, and I just got a kick out of this when she showed it to me, and I said, okay, yeah, we could paint that. And so she sent it to us, and
Yeah, it's a great photo, and it's I think it'll be fun to paint. I hope you got my email. I've got a client that's in it's a pickle. And I'm going to be in and out, so I don't know that I'm going to be able to do much on the canvas, but I'm going to watch when I can.
Okay, no worries. We're see what we can do. This is, like I said, we got a lot of things going on in this thing. We're going to try definitely do our simplifications on it and concentrate on her and some of the hounds, the lighting on them. I think that's what drew me to this, is more than anything else, is the lighting of the hounds. Let me see if I got this one up. It might take a second. I'm not sure if it downloaded up. Let me see.
Oh,
Did you guys see that?
buddy.
Yeah, that's my workspace back there. You guys weren't supposed to see that. Does not look like it downloaded.
There's Putty again.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back here.
I like your kitty, Anne Marie.
Oh, thank you. It's my inspiration was my own Audrey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did a really nice job on that. I got to download the photo. 1 second. We got plenty of time since someone else is bugging us today.
Oh, I have one more question.
Yeah.
I was on your website today and I saw that you had Ireland with dates, but there was nothing about Tuscany. Are you doing both workshops?
Did I take? I might have turned off the wrong one.
I thought you were just going to do Tuscany next year.
Yeah, I was just going to do Tuscany. I mean,
okay, so Ireland is not happening. Okay.
Probably not unless they, I doubt it. I don't think I can do both unless they were, gosh, I don't want to do the air travel back and forth.
Yeah. No, I was just
one thing if you're right there and just keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway. All right, let's start again. Okay, let's pull it up and see what we have. Should come up now. Yep. There we go. Yeah, this came from our friend Marcia. Yeah, what I like that red jacket against the green and the dark spec there, just she just pops. She should be pretty easy to do. Really, there's nothing major about this. I mean, really, you can almost get this with like 3 colors. You get a red dark, you get a medium strong red, and then you get some white in your red, and you probably pretty much have have all these colors with some cad red. That should be pretty easy. Basically, also she is basically, a rectangle, and we split that, just come in on the sides a little bit, and that's pretty much it. That's all the closer you have to get. I mean, the thing with this this photo is it's made for either a big painting where you can get into details, or a small painting where you can't do details. It's one or the other, it seems like, or else you're going to be really working at it, because there are some dog details in here that are really nice. There's some really nice features of bodies and heads. I love those back heads. Those would be fun to do. Those we can get. We don't have too many faces, right? Faces usually in eyeballs take the longest to do. Here we got a side of a head and 4 backs of heads and a side of a head, which probably doesn't even count. So that could go pretty fast. Also, the values, I mean, they are all about, they're in that white stage. So maybe we don't have to do too crazy there. We won't have to go too much. You got a lot of reflections of green coming into it from the ground, but it's a kind of a warm green, so you can see some of the yellows and things and colors right in here. Some of the greens and yellows and reds showing up in the underbellies. Her, again, she has red, she's in white. Nothing too much. Look at, no, we don't have fingers. Don't have to do fingers. Basically, you want to just hit her hands as a solid shape, right? And then just come back in and nick those knuckles in, and the top of her finger up here in, light on it. That's really all you have to do there. This one, yeah, might be just, she has her thumb closed in a fist. Not too interesting. This, look like she's hiding the horn in under her coat here. Also, you have this riding utensil, which Marcia would know what that is. She knows all that stuff about horses and stuff since she has her own horse. She's a funny lady. Okay, and so that's, you got foreground with a lot of dogs with the grass. You got her in the kind of almost middle ground, and then you got the grass, and you got the people in the background. Okay, people in the background, I'm not going to worry too much about them. If they get anything, they'll be lucky. If this guy back in here, gets anything more than a dot, a side of a face line and a nose, he'll be lucky. He's not going to get hardly anything. Look at, got some kind of hat on him. It could be a bowler hat. That would be kind of cool. And then lighting, that's pretty much all it. And the people back in here, really, I'm not going to spend much time on them. The dogs and her are going to get pretty much everything. And if I put those guys in, they're going to be just kind of more quick essences of people. and everything. Like this guy back here behind your hat. Definitely don't need him. Look at it. You take him out, all of a sudden it looks better too. And then the fencing back in here, I don't know. I don't see a need it. I mean, I don't really see any real big call to put it in. Let me see. Anything else? That is a swimming pool back there. I guess that's probably where the gate's going across it. Oh, I like I care. I'm not gonna worry about that. Most of the stuff I'm back there, I'm just kind of blend it all together, then kind of just pull these guys' legs out and maybe a head, and that's about it. Most of it I was just going to try and get this grass green shape in here, and then the roof, the shadows, which drive it. Get the difference between the shadows and that light in the shadows. That's really what's really cool. And then really just keep it going, just trying to keep it coming around. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So, any questions?
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Well, no, yeah, we'll be lucky if, I think we can mix up the green. That's be no problem getting that in. I probably definitely love to get this kind of stuff in, get the shadow and some of the dogs in and her in. That kind of stuff. If I can get that in, then I'm not going to worry about the background. That can be all just, even the cement back there. Yeah, that could be green too, You could just put that green, and you can just where the light is here. Oh, we know it's this color, so we could just paint it that color if you wanted, and just get rid of that whole thing and just make it a real park setting, and then not worry about it, and then just pull in some shadows coming in from the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that. We'll see. Like I said, I don't think that's really going to be that's not a focal point of the painting. So to spend too much time there, it was kind of a waste of time to spend too much time right in there. I'm just going to carry it through. And if you want to put the cement back in, it's an easy it's oil. So you can do it in a minute, right? Easy. Easy peasy. Okay. Easy peasy. Let's go over to the palette and pick some colors up. Thanks for showing up, guys. All right.
Yeah, I'm so sorry I missed the plein air. It looked like people did some great job.
It's fun. It was really fun, and I say that as a someone new to plein air, but I really enjoyed it, and I feel like being outside is just so inspiring. I had a good time.
She did have a good time. She did. I can testify to that. She had
I met many new dogs.
Oh my God. She was saying hi to every dog that walked by.
Can't help it.
That was funny. All right. I did not get a chance to refresh all my paints yet. Trying to use up some last little bits of paint here, trying to make sure I don't throw away any, being that frugal painter. Not much there. Gotta throw that one away. Phthalo green. I'm gonna put out a little bit more phthalo green. So, okay. So I got titanium white. Got some cad yellow out. Oops. Ochre out. Cad red. Cad orange. Want to get some oxide red out. Light or Terra Rosa. Whatever you want. There we go. Definitely going to need that. This is transparent oxide red too. I want to put that out too. If you do have any transparent oxide red, that will come in handy. Colors, then I got a Lisbon Crimson, our Cobalt Blue Hue, our Phthalo Green, and some King's Blue out. Now, King's Blue, you know, I keep saying how what a kind of a waste of color it is so much, you know, all the time. But I tell you, it kind of came in handy this when we were painting outside, because, you know, being so weak, it made some kind of interesting greens that were, you know, I usually don't get to see very often. They make, you know, usually make them with phthalo green and stuff, but then sometimes you make it with a little bit of a jet, not so strong a blue, and your oranges and your yellows kind of just take over pretty good. And so it was kind of interesting to play with that. Okay, I think I got everything out here I need. Put out some more white, fresh white. And I guess I'm just gonna go with that as much amount of CAD red. I guess I can't run out of it. Can't run out. Okay. Of course, my Bristol is gonna definitely need some bristle brushes. You're gonna need some synthetics, and big brushes, and then down to your smaller brushes. This guy might come in handy for some good marks too, racing out. All right. Really, let's just start off with some greens and stuff. I think I'm gonna start off some warm greens. So if you have a lizard or oxide red and phthalo green, that'd be great together. One on the green side, one on the dark brown side. I don't know if you have any transparent oxide left, because I know like oxide red left here. If you do, it'd be great to have, because we're going to try some of that. That's going to be coming handy too. And that's half the painting right there. We're done. Now we just take these guys. No, that's going to push this one to the red side, which probably won't be turning too much. There we go.
What is that? Is that
If you
the
don't
oxide?
have, yeah, this is transparent oxide red right here with
Yeah.
phthalo green.
Okay.
And this is same thing, just more green. This is on the oxide red side. I can see this color beginning into this warmth here, so that's why I wanted to get that out there. And then the oxide red and stuff, I was kind of seeing back in here, some of the greens and stuff. I think it's going to come in handy that back there. But also going to need a few other colors. Those are my greens. And then I'm going to do some blues and oxide red light. This I might be able to even get into, start to get into some of her stuff, dark reds. This one. Just like sometimes outlines or, you know, creases in fabric. Sometimes that come in handy. This with just when it's on the blue side, like this one is back in here. I was seeing that back in here. I'm just going to push it back into this section here. Okay, I'm going to take each one of these colors down a little bit. So I'm going to split the piles. And I'm thinking of ochre to these colors, lightening them up with ochre. And then maybe at the end, then the next stage, maybe well, these cooler ones at the end, these ones with blue in it, I'll probably do just white. But these ones I want to do ochre. I want to getting my greens going. So if you have ochre, and this is phthalo green and oxide red light. Well, that's a nice color. This is on the green side. This is what I'm hoping is gonna get right back into here. And seeing that the ochre is kind of a neutral yellow. It's not like a real strong one thing, that I figured it'd probably be able to sit right down right here pretty well. Let's see, this is oxide red, transparent oxide red with the same thing. Let's see what happens here. How much this is on the green side too. Just a slightly different green. This is a little richer. That might help. I might be able to put this in the back, come up with this one forward, and then let's see what this last one does. Ochre and oxide red, but this is on the oxide red, transparent oxide red side. And yeah, this is kind of that army green. Nice kind of army green that I think you're just a few more, a little bit more lighter piece of it. Maybe a little lighter piece of this. I'm just going to bring it down here because I kind of like that darkness of this one. Yeah, didn't do anything. That's the thing. You're not going to go very far. Okay. These colors back here, I want to start getting some cools for her in here. So I'm just going to mix these with a little bit of white. Value wise, probably right around 7, maybe 8. Yeah, just a little bit of white at the beginning here. Not a whole lot of places there for that color. And then this one here, this is where I was hoping for the hat. Will start to get me into this hat color, yeah. So I think I can get the hat these colors. And this is sort of probably this red. If I can get it, tone it down on the next stage, I'll probably be able to start to get some of her out of it. Like I said, I want to take these greens down one more time. Take a piece of them, leave a big pile there, but this time hit them with cad yellow. Don't have to be too huge of a pile, but this is where I was hoping to be, start to get into this kind of stuff in the front area. Just having a nice mix of greens in here. I think will do it. Might have to add just a little bit of orange to a little bit of, there are going to be a few of these like this one. Might not be too much of a change from those two. So you might just go, well, that's not bad though. I'm just going to leave it. But you adding orange in to tint things up. This is going to be good. This is going to be the mustard color I was looking for this. It could go just a little redder. Like that. I'm going to put a little cad orange into it. Just to get that. There you go. In here, this stuff. And I think I'm going to get the dog color out of that too.
That looks more yellowy though, doesn't it?
It's real yellowy. Yeah, it's real yellowy. I did add a little cad orange to it. After I added the the cad yellow to it. So now let's say that this should take care of all the background pretty easily, and I think some of these colors, like these reds and stuff, will start to get into some of the people and her a little bit. Not all of her. I mean, yeah, let's take care of her coat now, since I got red out. I'm gonna go with alizarin. Start with alizarin and then bring in some cad red light into that. And basically making me like a cad medium out of this for her. Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, that's a nice mix. Now all you have to do is add a little color to it to gray it out a little bit. A little too strong. Just a little too strong. So I'm gonna add just a little bit. This is, like I said, King's Blue to it. That grays it out a little bit at a time. Now get me into the sides a little bit. Okay, that's not bad. I want to take this color and want to inject, I'm going to inject some cad orange into it. Look at that. I want to see what that does. Doesn't look like it's going very far. No,
Hang on.
let's try some just cad red mixed in, a little bit stronger cad red mix. There we go. That'd be a lot closer to what we need. But I'm gonna take each one of these guys down too. I'm gonna start adding white to these reds. And this one's starting to work out really well. The one would put cad orange in. And if nothing else, I know I can get it at a skin tone. So always leave these kind of little dark ones here too, because they'll definitely be getting into her side of her face and then in the front of her face. Definitely could use some of that stuff. Reuse it there, because definitely that coat's reflecting into her skin. This is a light one.
Was that alizarin and white and?
Yeah, alizarin, white, and just some and cad red light. That's what that one is. And then I brought it down and I added more cad red to it. And here I added white to it. Over here, instead of adding cad red, I put in cad orange to see what would happen. Sometimes just you might come down to just pushing a shoulder back or something like that. You know, just having a color that'll just move things around. So that's what I was thinking. That's what my thinking. I really was my thinking. Okay. Just gonna get some of this red off my knife. Okay, just put it right here. No reason for me to put it there, but I'll just put it there. I'm gonna start mixing color for the dogs. I think I got everything for enough for this, for the girl. You know, it's probably just gonna be a little playing around yet on that, but I think we can start on with the dogs. Oh, I got some pink out here. I'm gonna take a little bit of grass color and put it in here too. Start getting my warms right off the bat. Okay, that was a little cheating because I could see that color coming a mile away. I'm gonna take some of these greens I'm gonna take some of these colors, these intermixes of reds and greens together and see what I get. Because I think that's gonna be what's in this in these pups' legs and everything. Some of these shadow colors. Gonna be a lot of this green reflecting up. So I'm gonna take all these kind of earthy, kind of browner greens, and maybe try this one too, and cut these guys with white instead of yellow. Not too much white, which I just did. That was way too much. I'm trying to get that, to start to be in this value of these legs. No, I can live with that.
What are we adding to that?
I took just white,
Okay.
and I'm just taking these kind of earthier greens, these not really too bright greens, and just taking a piece of those because we added yellow to it coming down here. But we're gonna go back. I just went back up here to these mid-tones and took them, and we're just gonna add some white to them and start getting, all these reflective colors in their legs and stuff. That's what's gonna make all the peaches and stuff stand out.
Mine turned
And-
turquoise, so I did something wrong.
Turquoise. You got a lot of green showing through that.
I guess.
This one's turning a little turquoise, which is okay. I think I used a brighter green. I just used a brighter green. That's why the earthier ones that have a little red in them, and like these ones, they have a lot more red on the red side. Yeah, they turn out okay. But it's nice to have this kind of color here because when you put that up against these pinks and things right in here in the legs and shadows, it turns a little bluer. So that's good. Okay. All right. What we need now is some of these browns, markings in the fur and things. We need a few of those. So I just took a little bit of stuff here. This is that Cad Red and alizarin mix and brought it down here. I'll put a little phthalo into it. Just scrape a phthalo to get rid of it a little bit. Definitely want to like this color. The good color, a little strong. Let's leave a piece of it.
I'm a little behind. What's that one?
Hurry up, hurry up.
That is
That is came from up here. It came from her coat. It's a
Okay.
red. It's alizarin, just Cad Red Light.
okay.
And I just put just a hair of phthalo green into it to gray it out. And I like that color. I was going to leave it and have those guys work together to do like shadows and stuff around the ears and into the bellies and stuff to turn the form. And then I said I took a piece of it then from that kind of purplish red here, and then I used ochre. So my last ochre, put that together with it to make it kind of now it's a red brown, more of a burnt orange, and that's going to start getting into this fur. So basically, I'm going to build a few colors to make this fur. These are like the grayed out, values that are going to be like for the middle of the year or for things that you don't want to jump. They don't get a lot of you know, you want these colors here are going to sit there a little bit. But then you're going to have some of these brighter oranges, you know, with it catching the sun in their ears. You're going to need that. So that's why I was just going to separate a little bit of a pile here. Just basically make it really hit the cat orange in it. And this is going to be all over this guy. This is going to be all over in these guys. I probably could have made a bigger pile. I hate to have running through it at the end. A little bit of using a lot of the paint just because it's old paint, messing it up. But just that'll do it. I might even take a piece of this and add some, just to get one more color to play with. You know, if I had some cad yellow here, really push this one up here. And you can just catch that on a few things, maybe. All right. So basically got the dark, got some a lot of shadow colors coming in here. Grayed out colors. What I need one. See these warm greens here. I don't really have a light dog color here that's going to balance out these greens.
So what are we doing now?
I'm looking for like a pinkish
Pinkish.
tone. Pinkish. And it should be oxide red, probably oxide red. It could be easily oxide red and just white. Could easily just be that into these guys, which is this. And this can also work up here in her face too. A little pink. Could be in here in her that crease of the sunlight on her face. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now I got at least enough colors going. I figure I can get the dogs out of here. This is kind of an interesting color. This is just came down from this red brown one made up back there with white. And that can be in here too. So I'm gonna get a little bit of everything going here. So well, I should probably took this. I need to take this guy down. Which King's Blue I had to use to make that color. That's like just to get that color going there. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take this color down too. Take down with just white, a little bit of white.
And that is
oxide, oxide and blue came down, and it's on the oxide light, red oxide light, and blue came down from here.
okay.
And I'm just making it, just toning it down a little bit. I need it's a nice purple, which I don't have, and you know, when you're dealing with a lot of greens in things, it's really nice to have a few purples against those greens. We found that out for sure this weekend. Really can separate out greens with purples. And this is, then I'm just taking these colors down over here, just adding white to them. some more white, taking me down to these values here, which are probably right around the threes, maybe a little fours. But I was thinking of this going into her white pants there. Maybe doing it just cleaner blue. This one's got kind of, yeah, there we go, a little cleaner sometimes. And then I got my phthalo green and white and cad yellow light and white, and we'll be good. It's going to have some greens out. I'll go through this. These last colors here are just for like things in these guys that just to make them interesting. Sometimes phthalo green will, you know, add like a spotlight on colors and things like that. But the last color, definitely, the last few colors, maybe just a little bit of ochre and white. You got this really beautiful ochreish color. It'd be great for the face. And then maybe and there you go. I used up all my white. That means I'm done. Can't do anything else. All right, I'll go through the colors. It started getting high key here, pretty high. Hopefully I won't have to use too many of those, except for in the dog. I think they're really just in the dogs highlights and things in here. So it's like nice to have some nice kind of clean pastel-y ones, some earthy ones. So, all right, color-wise. You okay, Lynette? You need help?
No, I'll check my colors as we're going through here. Thanks.
Okay. Up here, we start off with phthalo green and oxide reds. This is on the red side. This is on the green side. This is with ochre put into it. And then we pour it down here and we put cad yellow into it. Up here again, phthalo green and transparent oxide red into these things. This is on the green side. This is on the oxide red side, transparent oxide red. You bring those guys down. You can just see the difference between a transparent color and a opaque color. You know, it's just these guys are just a little richer. But, you know, when you come down and you add yellow to them, they kind of almost all become the same thing. They're pretty close. But right off the bat. So this is what happens when you add yellow to it. Cad yellow. This is ochre to it. This is blue and oxide red light. And this is on the blue side, red side, bringing them down. This is just a little white added to them. Here I added just a little bit more white. I was looking for her hat out of here, this area here. So I add just a touch of green to this blue too. Just a touch of green to get kind of the blue-green kind of color. Up here, we took these guys down and added a little bit more white to them. We took the earthy greens up here, these ones that have just a little more red in them, and brought them down here and added a lot of white to them. This one's kind of grayed out. This is a nice kind of a yellowish beige type color. And then you got your seafoam green kind of color that came out of here too. Then we went and made up her coat. The reds are going to be used. I just used the alizarin crimson and cad red light together. And then I used more cad red light over here into it. Over here, I took a piece of that and I used cad orange. Then we added white to it. You can see how orangier that is. And this is a little more peachier. These colors here, probably in here also, will probably be able to get her face out of it. But I took this alizarin and cad red over here, and I added just a little phthalo green to it. Just a scratch of phthalo green to it. Kind of grayed it out a little bit. Then I brought down here, I put in some ochre into it. And it's that's going to be in the dogs. These are starting to be the dog colors. Some of the brighter areas of the dogs in browner areas. And that's where this stuff is going to come in handy too, coming in underneath and getting the legs and everything else. And then in the top parts of the dog where you get the shadow, cooler shadows on the side and the shoulders, that's where we'll be using these pastel purples and blues and greens into this dog's heads and back shoulders and hips and things. And then the really bright highlights, that's where we use the ochre and white and the cad yellow and white for like a lot of little teeny things. There might be a little peachy one too. There should be probably a really high key peach, which would have been this where we did oxide, not oxide. Yeah, it was oxide red, but with just white. That's really going to be really good in their faces too. So you can start to see how these things work together pretty well. That's about it. I think about ready to get over here to the board and start looking at it, drawing it up. Get this over, slide some things over. You okay? Everybody good?
Yeah. Yeah. What size panel are you using?
I am gonna go with like a 20 by 16. Just
Okay.
because I have it handy, but I would think a 12 by 16 probably be a really good size for it.
I returned a few minutes ago and I am listening.
Well, good to hear. Good to hear. We just went through all the beautiful colors.
No, I saw much of that. It's, I saw much of that. What can I say? Pesky client. But revenue is good.
You need to make cash.
I need to make cash so I can go to France. What can I say?
There you go. There you go. All right. I am going to tone my canvas even with this transparent oxide red color I had left over, because I think it's going to be nice and rich and orangey. Going to help out these things. So big brush, big ideas, tone this baby down, then draw it in.
What are we going to use? Burnt sienna or?
Yeah, I'm using transparent oxide red.
Okay.
It's kind of that gold brown. Turns out to, if you don't have it, burnt sienna. Burnt sienna would be fine. And I would say the thing about this too is making sure you get her just off center. Make sure she's not in the middle. I know I keep saying that to myself. Not in the middle. Not in the middle. Not in that's usually what happens. You talk to yourself enough, you end up putting it goes in the middle. I got it. I got it. So I'm just gonna wipe this tone, get this tone done. Hopefully this will be I think this is gonna be an interesting painting more than very successful. I just kind of like the hound dogs and the red coats, the fox hunt. There we go. Just sorry, just really want to get this in there good. Now it's set. I said, getting her in, making sure that, she's over here a little bit, where the dogs go. Dogs had to line up, then their bodies come around, tails come around, feet. A nice shadow here. So it's more, just getting the design, going down, how things are separating out. She is pretty big. I need to get her up to there. And then to draw on all those dogs. I know. It's just like, oh my God, what were you thinking? I just, sometimes I just, it has to be interesting. It doesn't make it for me to do any to really dig into this thing. It has to be, just be more interesting than a car or something like that. Something interesting to paint, something different. All right. So yeah, she was just basically a rectangle, and then just a little hourglass, bring it in the middle a little bit. That's all you have to do. And then when it goes right to her shoulders, you go right to her shoulders with that hourglass, and then right out of that point in the shoulders comes her, her arms. So that's all you have. That's can be sort of simpler drawing. Yeah. Get that guy right back in here looking over, make sure it's all done right. Get photographers up here on the hill, people standing around. So, if you want to put people back in here, that's always good. But look at things. Okay, dog here. Okay. Oil. And it goes here. Probably could come up a little higher. It just needs to come down a little bit too. Yeah, her eyes, that's a nice thing all about this is that, you don't have to deal with too much eyes there. They're just pretty much hidden away underneath in the shadows. And the dog's heads, I wish I could say, look like a lot of or triangles a little bit, flattened out triangles coming in here. We will see. Wow, Lynette, you're a big award winner now.
I didn't win it. The award was just getting into the contest. But
Hey,
you should see all of the paintings. They're like unbelievable.
yeah. Hey, you should be happy. They liked you.
It's amazing.
Yeah. That's good. It's a good thing to get acknowledged. You worked hard.
They felt sorry for me. I've tried 4 times before and didn't get in. So
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't think they do that. They don't look. It's always new judges I read all the time. So these guys, yeah, just get that windy body of theirs. Look at that. Trying to get this to end. Look like this is going to be a little tough one. Sometimes these things I'm going to really probably have to lighten up and to not lose my way. Wipe these highlights out so I can know what body goes with what dog, right? Kind of like I think I'm lost one of my dogs already. That's what it is. Like this guy is supposed to come over here a little bit. Yeah, he was supposed to come over right here. That's what. But it was. She probably should be right in here. So half this one is going to be just drawing these guys, these mutts out. Did you end up keeping that dog, Lynette?
oh yes, and I'll we have yes, and she's very sweet. So the only thing is she scared our grand dog, so gave her a nip. So, but she's from a shelter, so she's not trained.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then she went to play half an hour later. So
Oh.
she's house trained and she's
Yeah.
sleep through the night.
That is good. And she's not.
She's an angel.
Yeah.
If she can do that, right?
So was Birdie her name in the shelter?
Yes.
And she responds to that name.
What?
She responds to that name.
Yeah, and I mean she's 4, so we don't want to change it, and I like it.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah. Good for you.
Well, I went right away to look on your Facebook page to see what she looked like, and she is just a doll.
She's really cute. Yeah. She's so different from a golden, you know. I mean, and we've
yeah.
had 2 Goldens over 20 years. So
Yeah. So it's something different. You guys, they want, you know, it's kind of nice.
yeah.
All right. Well, my drawing was not too horrible. I got some things kind of came in the right spots from just marking some things out. You know, so you will see. It should be fun. I mean, half the thing about doing these hounds is paintings is you know, just the way they're so thin and lean, and just the way they hold themselves. It's just is kind of, you know, wiry, and kind of fun to watch, fun to look at. Okay, and goes there. Okay, let's see about cleaning up a little bit of stuff here. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about it. I was going to think about, I don't know if that adds anything to it. It kind of does break it up, just that cement back there. You know, keeps everything. Anyway.
You have to be brave to try and do something like this.
You do. Hey, well, you're a big shooter now. So we expect big things from you.
I have a number of unfinished paintings here, so I've been doing dog care, so
Yeah. That's good, you know. Good. All right. I'm just gonna take and with my finger here and just pull up some highlights. So I sort of know where things are gonna go, you know. I kind of think they're gonna go in here and, you know, back in here. You know, just gonna highlight on her leg here. Dog head here. Neck. You know, you don't have to do all the collars too. And the nice other thing too, if like I would say even the markings, you're probably gonna, you know, you don't have to be too exact on the markings. Just use them to make muscles. If they work. Probably need to get in front of this a little bit too. Little dog right in here. Last dog right up here. Okay. Oh, she's too easy. That's just going to be too easy. Maybe we need to do something harder. Boy. Boy, what did I do? Sorry, Lynette. Oh, well. We'll make it work.
am I the only one painting?
Yes, you and me.
Oh, gee.
I
I thought-
know. I thought
I think-
everybody would be here for this one. Oh, well, they will wish they were here.
That's right.
Okay. Let's start with some nice darks. I don't want to do the greens right away because of I want to be able to use those to define the dogs. But also, I kind of want to do the shadow almost first and then go into the reds. Okay. I'm going to do the shadow underneath the dogs. And I'll just start off with the color we first made up is oxide red and phthalo green.
Lynette, I heard you ask the question about if you were the only one painting. And
Yeah.
regrettably, that is true, but I am there in spirit.
See? See? Doesn't that make you feel wonderful? She's
Oh, I feel
there.
great.
She's here in spirit.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but this pesky client is just, well, you know.
Pesky. That's okay. So what do you do? What do you do these clients?
What do you mean?
What's your what do you do for them?
Well, I have a consulting firm and it's public affairs, public policy.
Oh,
And so we are in the midst of some interesting issues in Cook County, and so I'm trying
in the
to
way, huh?
just trying to balance things, and I don't want to miss this class, but I do have to tend to.
Yeah,
know.
I understand. Gotta make money.
Yeah, right.
Gotta pay for things. Yeah, I know.
Got to pay for the paint.
Got to pay for the paint, and man, oh man, it's expensive. And
Getting it crazy, isn't it?
it is, but I try, I like your approach about being frugal. And I think that could actually be a theme for something, whether or not you would do a video or a podcast or something. But, being frugal is a good thing and making the most of the materials that you have. So I'm trying to do that.
Yeah,
I'm being really frugal tonight because I'm not painting.
that's good. That's good. Way to go. Yeah, yeah. No, wait, no. Yeah. I'm doing one of those things here that I, usually never tell you guys never to do is, get in here and start defining anything out. But this just to figure out these shadows. I really like these shadows. And so I kind of like, if I don't get these guys in, the way I want, I think it's doing two things. It's really helping the drawing, finishing off the drawing part here. And also, setting some stuff up, setting up the, putting itself in, but also fixing the drawing, kind of telling me where my drawing is off, which everybody knows. There's no such thing. No such thing. Okay, I'm putting in the greens. I'm going to go with a little bit more strength here. And get these front greens in the grass. Even though I'm way too early. Sometimes you've got to break my own rules about things. That's going to be nice. That's going to work. So that's just two colors. Right now, I put the reddish part of the phthalo green and oxide red down low. And as I came up above them over here to this side, I switched to the cooler version of it, the phthalo green and more phthalo green than the red. So it's gonna jump a little bit. I can just see about getting in these things, twisting my brush and how it's gonna get in here. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this a little rough too. You know, not perfect in any way. And I'm just gonna leave it right there. If I do put in that cement or how I want to put it in. I might put it in. So can always take the green back farther, but just trying to get some depth here. Okay, back in there, I'm going to put some of that blue in oxide red light. So this is going to be kind of a blue gray back in here. Not too much because I do got to pull out her hat into this. It's going to be pretty much the same value, but I can bring this down. And we got blocked in just like that. How you like that? Did not expect to block it in so quickly, did we? Just kidding. Just kidding. Just blending out things. Okay. That's gonna be fun. When you hit the highlights, the grass highlights at the bottom here, this thing should just jump pretty nicely. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to clean out my brush a little bit. I think I might even switch out brushes. That one's probably got too much green in it. So I'm going to go to red. I'm just going to go to a big brush, synthetic. Go to my big synthetic. And we'll start with her. I'm going to start with the red, her red first, because I want to get that in. Right? So I'm going to start off with the dark color, the red oxide or alizarin and cad red mix. The shadow side, I'm going to hit really more on the shadow side, her right side. You know, and paint that. You can paint pretty much that whole half of her is this red here. Because we're just going to come back with highlights. We probably have to almost use pure cad red into this to really make it pop. So this doesn't even have to be that dark. It's just gotta, really just kind of like a coloring book, get it in there, get this red in first. And look at these things. Okay, that's pretty good. Just starting to leave a little bit on the side there open. I'm going to use this also for the shadow on her going across here from her arm, coming across her jacket, the shadow. Get that shadow in there. Anywhere else, a little bit of it right here, right around her hand, which is good because what that does helps define her hand really nice and easily. You know, don't have to do any work. Now, anything, you know, you can miss a value on her hand being dark, and it will still pop. Let's probably go a little closer. A little too wide. And I'm just getting a shadow on her hand here. Seeing about the width. Yeah, they got to be, yeah, right about there. Okay. Also, now I'm just going to go through. I'm going to go through probably with just a little bit darker red that I have here that I want to, you know, help make things pop. Sure I get that angle right. Good. Yeah, the darker red. That would be the oxide red and blue. I'm going to use that around here, just in, you know, just in like the shoulder up there, just in the deep shadow of underneath her arm there. Probably in her cuff, inside her cuffs. These things are really pretty dark. Just marking her face a little bit to the shadow, that strength of that shadow value in there in the middle. See, that's a funny thing about this. You know, she's got a lot of reflective color coming in from one side. She has a bright light coming in from the other side, but right there in the middle, that's where all the heavier shadows are. So okay, her hat. Again, I'm just going to flip over and go to the blue side of that oxide red and blue. And I want to get that hat really strong. In one stroke here, just that whole shadow, just going back a little wrong direction. Okay. You just get a touch of her hair too, probably. Something different tonight. Once I have that color there, I'm just gonna, there's this guy back in here behind her. And he's just, like I said, I'm just gonna paint his shape. That's a little taller, he is. Up by Mott, a little taller there. Just sort of tell that his hands go behind his back. Yeah, he comes out a little bit. Really seeing this, yeah, I got it a little tall, don't I? Let's bring that down. I'm gonna use his little, the dark from him to really just change the how big her arm was. Everything just loosey goosey right now, just moving around here. Yeah. All right. What do we got here? Okay. Got most of it out. I think I'm just gonna start toning some of the dog's legs and stuff here, trying to get these guys in. You know, so I don't lose where I am. So I'm gonna go down to the greens. Basically, drop down to the greens where I have added a little ochre to them. And think about the shadow sides of these guys. Just painting in the shadow to get work that structure before I lose it all. Touch more red and that would have been good. Okay, go around here to the belly. You know, I picked this one out way too early before I even thought about doing plein air for the weekend. A little wore out. Wore me out. I was thinking about going, oh, maybe no one will come. Maybe we'll just cancel it. My God, darn.
Now you're
My
trying to
diehard.
now you're trying to get rid of us.
Yeah.
Those pesky students.
They kept me busy. They keep you going though. Yeah. Little by little, just build it up. Just using that oxide red and green we mixed up. This is just a little bit of ochre to it. And trying to work out a few of these markings on these dogs are I can always, push the color yet, but I just want to get a little bit of understanding where they are. Since there's so many, I've seen like, how come I picked this? I'm going, well, how come I picked this again? How come I did? I mean, hey.
We're always asking that. Why did he pick that?
I know. It's like, well, there was nothing there. That's not interesting. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think, I thought it would be interesting.
Well, it is.
Good, Lynette. You're always nice.
It's just not easy.
It is
Nope.
interesting. No, it's very interesting. And I think it's a challenge and I'm looking forward to trying it, but not at the moment.
She says that.
I mean it.
Okay, good. Yeah, just working out the shadows and stuff, trying to get these guys to balance out, That's all I'm doing now. Just working the shadow sides of them and bringing them around. Not too worried about her. Now they got some light on her stuff. I'll be all right. Let me get this back into this guy going. So some of those grays I made up are gonna hit right in here. The shadows on this guy on this side. Yeah, a lot cooler. You can start to see some of the cools on these couple front dogs here that the shadows on, they have their shadows are a little bit cooler than these guys over here. Over here, they're got a lot of warmth in their shadows. That means basically a little bit more red in that color. More oxide red into this guy too. This leg. More good. That oxide red with white really does a good job about giving you like a nice neutral white that kind of can almost goes everywhere. And you can almost really see it in their fur and stuff. He should have saw the one I let get away though, and this could have picked out. It would have been what they call the holding room, where they have all the hounds together before they let them out. I think this is called the blessing of the hounds, where she blessing the hounds that who are going to run. But they have a holding room, and there's like all these hounds in it with a morning light on it. It was so pretty. It's like, oh, I'd like to paint that, you know, but it's like one of those ones that it's going to take a lot of painting to get things to understand, to work. And I was just haven't had that time lately to get to it. Oh, this is kind of nice because I like doing this kind of green. This is that phthalo green and oxide red with some white in it. Really kind of neat on this one. A couple of these dogs here. Use it over here, I think, too. This guy. Really, all I'm going to do also, Lynette, since you're here painting, concentration wise, ones, I'm just going to hit, make sure that I don't have to paint everything on the back hounds. So if you get these front ones pretty right, you'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it, Lynette. That was my big idea. My big idea. Just hit these guys. Don't worry about anybody else.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you didn't know that, but that's the thing, is they just sorry. I'm drawing them in, drawing them in, drawing them out, drawing them in. Back and forth, back and forth.
So I can't tell from my device here, but it looks like you have included all of the hounds in some
Yeah.
fashion or other, right?
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, but I'm gonna just concentrate on these ones right here, four of them.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just gonna be like, well, this one here probably is gonna, since his head's pointing towards her hand and stuff, probably that one probably get a little more loving, but it's about it. That's what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah. She looks great.
Didn't do anything to her hardly.
Well, that's probably why she looks so good.
Yeah. So far, we're just trying to keep it loose, trying to sneak up on this thing. That's probably gonna need to be all right. Get a little more stronger green in here. Just redefine things one more time. Dark whites in the grass. Really hoping to, pound the highlights in the grass to really make this thing pop. No, just open. Just hope it works. So that being said, I just need to rough that up. Okay. How's that drawing look? Hips are off here. I'm gonna start putting some of the browns in, some of these markings. A little bit around. Using that one color we made from her coat with just a little phthalo green in it, and keeping that on the cooler side, it works really well. And so on the shadow sides, markings, and looks like it's going to go in really pretty nicely. A little darker. I think I'm going to go a little darker for in the ears. I'll get this guy back in here a little bit. Lynette's gotten quiet.
I was making so much noise, I had to mute myself here.
Oh, okay. Looking for colors?
No, That's all right. Uh,
Crying? Were you crying?
I've got, everything's mushy, of course.
Yeah. You blocked it in already?
Well, yeah, if you want to call it that.
Wow, congrats. No, Lynette, that'd be fabulous. To get this thing blocked in that quick. That's, that's just, fab would be great. I mean, I think always want to get these things blocked in as fast as possible because I think that's where you keep a lot of energy in your paintings. This kind of loose marks sometimes are better than anything tight you put in. This is like a lot of this stuff. Yeah, it's just really indication. I mean, if I would, it's just going to be like that because it's, I didn't really take this painting to, do a super realistic painting. I just like the idea more than I think anything else. Got to get this hound's tail. This one. Behave, get in here.
I love the
Problem-
composition. I love the composition and in the photograph too of how the dogs are facing her
Yeah,
and sort of all around. It's really compelling.
I thought so. Thank you. That's the reason I took it. I just thought of just, no, just because they're all this white and that red of hers just, jumping out.
Yeah, it really pops.
Yeah. So now I'm going with that same brown where I added some ochre to it. And that is the brown. Pretty much I'm going to use it for the markings on every one of these dogs. Pretty much the same brown. Except for every time I grab it, I'll put when I take it in brand new where I have clean paint, find the good spots that need to be hit really hard before it can be dirtied up. Start to dirty up and grab all the paint. And I'll get there, then I'm just going to work through it and I'll be getting into my richer colors real soon. And then I'll get to my lighter colors. And when I get to my lighter colors, that's gonna be pretty close. I want to look in her hand. I think I can get her hand this color too, the bottom of her glove. Starting to get some crossover colors. This guy has a little bit more of it showing in his face, nose. Okay. That helped a lot. That did help a lot.
These look like big Brittany Spaniels.
I know they don't look like regular hound dogs. These are Brittany's. I know that's how when I was starting to putting it in there. That's how I was getting that same kind of feeling. Start putting in her leg here a little bit. Back in here. Looking for the coolness. A little purple on that one side, a little more blue on the other. Yeah, I gotta. A little too bright. Needs a little orange. Yeah, just a little too. Go with a little more blue white. This side just. Put some green in it. Maybe I can put that highlight in our pants. Maybe that will help. Little, that's right. I just got to put it in. Okay. Helped a lot. Yeah, I never did really bring down, never did draw her face in here. But I got to switch out brushes now. We'll do a little bit smaller one to be able to get these shapes in her shirt, coat, and stuff. Definitely going to go down to the regular, more cad red colors. This almost pure cad red going in here. Right on top of that. I'll be able to do the edge of her. Coat with it. Kind of keeping it simple. Now that red only comes over a little bit, like halfway under this front side here before it goes to really bright white. So I'll just bring that in this front edge. Say bright white, but it's not real bright white. I think you can see it into her arms here, just the bottom end. Not bad. Now, this color for her skin here came from that cad orange, adding that cad orange into it instead of cad red, where I split the alizarin and the cad orange together, or cad red together, and I split and I put more cad red in one side for the coat. This is when I put some cad orange in, and that definitely got her skin. I really nailed this. Always in the middle of her ears, though, I always see little cad red right in the middle of those ears here. Little cad red. You'll find that, and then probably also in that those creases on the one side. That's not bad. I can use that. Okay. I'm gonna do the highlights. Now I'm just gonna go right down to the whiter areas where I use a lot of added white into the cad red and alizarin. I add a lot of white. Let me see if this is going to be bright enough though. To do a test down here on your thing here just to see if it might be okay. It might be just a little even pale. So I like to get most of it done with one stroke like this. I did with that one, and then kind of go around the outsides and do the finishing drawing part of it, and letting it just break itself up a little bit. Like I said, just touches now. So I'm going to go back with that same color up here. Come into her hand. Get that shoulder again. So I'm not really so far, like I said, color wise, only you made up like 3 colors for this, for her coat. You know, a light, this light color, medium tone with more cad red in it, and then the dark one, which was alizarin and cad red. Very simple, but effective. We'll get the, just getting this stuff. You can always go in and add color and pop it. But at this stage, you just want to be able to get the drawing right, nailed out a little bit. That's what. Okay. So hit that back end of her, behind her shoulder here. Just touch it with a little bit of light. Okay. Put a little bit of that red into her pants too, because that coat's going to be reflecting. It's reflecting all over the place. So getting it into that white pants, a little bit of into her. I think that works. So then all I have to do is go back and get these really kind of creases here. And that's when I'm going to dip my touch my brush to oil before I grab the red, cad red here. About here. Just a little stronger color. This front here. Getting that pocket in. Yeah, these little darks just come back, get them one more time. That's that CAD in alizarin now. Coming back in here, just getting the shadow just a little bit better put in.
I don't want to stop you, Jim, but you.
You're getting tired?
Oh,
Let me see. I'm
I've been
done.
taking care of a 4-year-old puppy, so
Oh, whine. Come on.
Baby.
Anyway,
Baby
yeah,
birdie.
I spent a lot. I just want to make sure I got that in. I'd like to put in the highlights, but I'll show you. They'll be on it anyway. What time is it? We still got half an hour, but Lynette, let's just show us what you did since you're the big award winner these days.
Oh yeah, I got into a show, an associate member. I got to keep reminding you, this is not a big deal.
I think it is a big. Oh,
It's a big
Lynette,
deal.
But to me,
Lynette,
Oh,
congrats! Look at that. That's coming to life. That's so much fun.
oh, look.
That's some good drawing. That's some real excellent. You can tell those dogs. It has a lot of emotion to it.
yeah, I'm going to have a lot of work to do on details. But if I make it impressionistic, it just could be a bit.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is you don't have to you hit the highlights right. You got a little bit more of the brown tan fur to put in on their backs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you hit those highlights like you really mean it, and that's just going to be jump, especially when you put in the grass, the highlights in the grass, the shadow lines and in the grass with the lighter color bringing it in. That's going to be beautiful. I like that. I like that a lot. And I do like the cement back there, how you handle that. That's very impressionistic. It kind of takes you to, I was thinking this when I was saying that stuff, that could be a lot of green if I kept going that way. But that I like it. And even without the people, you got a winner there.
That is
Well,
lovely.
well, thank you. It's a mushy mess, but and
for
then
an
I
hour
have to
and
do
a
a
half.
face.
You haven't even painted for an hour and a half. Okay. What do you? That's really good for that kind of time. You really got it blocked out. My hat's off to you. Congrats.
Thank you. Well, I'll work more on it in between taking care of this little dog.
Well,
Where is he?
you show
Where is
him?
he?
You show him?
Oh, yes. Here, hang on a second. I think she's sleeping,
Oh, yeah, that's right. The girl.
but she is, she does love to sleep on the landing here.
Oh, hey.
She knows she's on camera.
Look
Hi.
at her.
Yeah.
Hello, Birdie.
Say
Hello,
hi.
Birdie.
You got Birdie. You can put Birdie in here. That'll be great.
Oh yeah, she's lots of fun.
Good for you.
So yeah, I'm glad we did it. So
Yeah. Good. I knew you needed a dog. You need to get back into the game.
we've always had a dog. So
I know. Oh.
you can't, until
Yeah.
we came do it anymore, I say, have a dog, right?
Okay,
Yep,
good,
that's right.
good.
Thank you. Well,
Okay,
thank you, everybody. And I'm gonna sign off and go collapse. So
all
next to
right,
my dog.
all right. We'll talk to you later.
And thanks so much for, this is beautiful. Yours is beautiful already. It's wow.
Yeah.
It's it gets the basics to it. And looking at yours, you helped me out a lot. Tells me where some good things to to get in here. I'm going to put in next. So, all
Hey,
right,
and okay. Thanks
all right,
again.
we'll see you
Take
later.
care, Marie.
All right, you too, Lynette.
Okay,
Okay.
bye-bye.
Okay, so now Jim.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions.
All right.
I have to get on a call with these people in a few minutes, but I do have a couple questions.
Okay, let's get those done.
So I love, as I said the other day during our plein air outing, I love color, and I love looking at a subject and figuring out like, oh, okay, so I could do that flower with alizarin crimson and a little cad red and a little bit of this, to kind of analyze the situation.
Right.
So how did you learn color just by doing, or did you take color theory, or is there value in color theory? I mean, what do you think?
There is value in it. I took it so many years ago. And at the time when we took it, it didn't make any sense. You just did the assignments and tried to make sense out of it because you weren't really applying it to anything. You were just kind of doing kind of hodgepodge projects. But then when you start later on, by like your senior year in college, all of a sudden it started kind of coming together what was going on. And that helped. So it was important. But one of the things I did find out that I really wasn't taught that much is the value of warms and cools as much.
Yeah.
And the strength in those. They're just a little different. It's a little different than just going by exact value and color. So when you get that, when you start putting warms and cools together, that's why I was trying to say warms on this side, cools on that side. But then you have a few mix meet in between, and they just become really gorgeous colors together.
Yeah.
You just something you can't just happen. And this photo had a lot of that stuff in it.
Right,
So.
which is why I asked the question, because when you're mixing paint and you say, oh, well, this is thus and such on the red side, or this is thus and such on the blue side, that's I mean, those subtleties make a big difference. And I'm just trying to figure out if there's something I can study that would be helpful, like color theory. I was reading about the Munsell system. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And I find that absolutely confusing. Like
That's what we
look
cut
at-
our teeth on. Yeah, I know.
I look at that graphic that they have, with it just completely throws me for a loop. And I feel like I am dumb or not educable, but then I know that I have good instincts. So what I guess my question is, how do I meld my instincts that I think are good with a more formal understanding so that I can be more consistent? I guess that's my question.
Yeah. That's what I learned off of was the Munsell system. And like I said, you use it too. It's very confusing and to understand things, but it does, I tell you, when I do think about this stuff, it does come back to my head, but a lot of it has to do more with, you know, grays, the
Uh-huh.
medium, working from grays and then adding color from there. I kind of, God, I'm not sure who does that. I should look it up. There's a few people who work almost gray underneath, and then they put, you know, use that value and make colors that are
Uh-huh.
that exact same value, and
Yeah.
the paintings work out pretty well. Ours, we just kind of like, I just go for the value or straight ahead, and it's you know, explaining that is, as you can tell, it doesn't just come naturally. That color, but having a good color sense, it will get you a long ways too.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking a lot about it, and I don't want to keep you, but I've been thinking a lot about it because, you know, when I look at the grayscale on the side of the photos that we use to paint,
Mm-hmm.
and then translating that, and I hear people saying, "Oh, is that a 4 or a 5, or is that a whatever?" And that mid range is especially confusing to me in terms of how you translate color from that grayscale in terms of value. And I want to learn more about that. And I suppose it's just a question of practice, right? You know, at a fundamental level, it's just practice. I don't want to get too caught up in an academic approach, but I do want to learn more about that.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's really, basically, it's all it is squinting your eyes down,
yeah,
really squinting down to knock any red, any green out of the color. So it just kind of goes to a very, you know, it goes to the gray, and then you can match up the value pretty easily, you know, how
yeah,
dark it is. And that's as simple as you can go.
yeah. And you know, red is really tricky.
Red is red and green. Both of them are very, they both, red is a lot darker than you even think it is
Yeah,
on the scale. And green is the same way.
yeah,
Blue too. Blue's a weird color too, because it's hard. One of those colors that are really hard to even get translate into the camera for some
yeah.
reason. So
So okay, well, listen, I don't want to keep you,
okay,
but I appreciate your insights, and I'll see you guys on Saturday.
all right,
Okay.
all right. Then you take her easy.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right. I'm just gonna finish up here a little bit here. I got another half an hour to paint. So let me get this back up. Some of those colors started working out. It's almost good to start talking a little bit in between here, just to get a little, you know, eye break from looking at this. So you could come back here and just pop these little oranges and these reds together a little bit. Now I'm just looking for little teeny stuff, little spots of color. Um, that's about it. So going in a little highlights, and I'm just going to come back here and just put a little bit of dark right behind this white shoulder here, so that that shoulder kind of goes back, will fall back down, doesn't just keep going up in space. A little bit of red on that one side. I'll put in the rest for cat here. Go around with the blue and find a few spots here. You can find it a little bit on her shirt here underneath. Trying to get this guy back in here, just give him a little bit. Oh, that's about right for her too. Could have gone a little bit richer. Highlight. Yeah, just a little bright. Touch it in place a little bit. Might not be too bright. It's one of those things. It's all by itself. It feels too bright. I start putting in this stuff here. Went up a little high. Okay. I'm just gonna block the rest in pretty quickly here. Get this this color here, this it almost is cooler than it looks. In fact, it's always weird on your palette. It looks a little darker on my palette, warmer on my palette, and I put it up here and it cools off a lot more. That is pale green and oxide red light. Bring those guys in together. Just a hair high on her hat. I didn't get the right angle either. Anyway, almost a block in. Always important to get that in. Get it blocked in, blocked in, blocked in. Oh, back in. Put some purples back in. This be good for tonight. I'll finish this up. That red. Yes, there. See if I start to put some of these more greens in here. These greens I'm putting in just a little soft. Just want to get this, get it in here. Because the dogs will start to separate out pretty easy out of this. Yeah, that's what I was hoping was going to happen. So these greens in the ground here do all the start defining all these the dogs. So when I put the highlights in, that's all I have to do. Everything just starts getting taking care of itself a little bit. I am taking this green I have is this is came down from oxide, transparent oxide red and green and ochre, and then some cad yellow added to it. I am putting in a little bit of pink from her coat into it now, and it's really beautiful. Really works out really well. So push this guy back a little bit. So I'm getting ready to go highlights. Getting some strength in here of color. Oh, that's a good block. You want that. Just a couple of green patches in here. After putting in a few highlights. I've got in front of that one. Just trying to get these, really straighten this stuff out. This should be a good one. This is like a key stroke here. See if I can get it right. Not bad. No more ochreish. Ochreish color. Yeah, just a little pale. Getting some of these worms in here, really warm yellows. This is probably the color should have been up here. Put these highlights in. Okay, I haven't said much because I'm really thinking about the drawing and you know, how much, how warm everything is. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to be going any brighter than that. And these guys over here. Okay. Really, now I just look a little bit of cat orange mix of Rich brown going in here. Just a few spots of fur. Okay, little things. Let me do a couple little teeny color things, trying to get this. Okay. Okay. Went a little long. Because no one was here. You guys don't mind. That's about it. I'll bring you in for a close up. I just getting in these dogs things here. Figure I was close enough. what might make this. I'm gonna look at is the highlights and the colors and stuff, the reds and the greens and stuff. We just need to, put a couple leaves in here. Start getting some of these browns that I had, up top, down a little bit lower here too. Break up a few of these things here. Now, there we go. I'll bring it in. Let's see, she's not too much anything, just a couple highlights in her coat and everything else. Dogs are gonna be fun though. So, and the guys back there, it's just gonna be hints. Just gotta really just bring the color up a little bit more, a little more intense. But it's getting there. So thanks for joining in. I'll see you guys all later.